Welcome to our home. I am Mrs. Daniel Boone, Rebecca. This is my husband, Daniel.
Howdy do. I am wearing a red waistcoat like I wore when I was in the Virginia legislature for 3 terms. Back in Missouri, Chester Harding painted a picture of me wearing a hunting hat like this one. My way of speaking comes from my being raised in Pennsylvania. You see me today as the height, the weight, and the age I was in 1802. I am Daniel Boone.
While Daniel was commandant, the Spanish lieutenant governor requested that he investigate an iron ore deposit at Merrimack Spring, located 5 miles southeast of the present-day town of St. James, Missouri.
I took with me Jonathan Bryan and Derry Colburn to scout out that area to see if we could find an iron mine. We did. Jonathan thought it would be a good one, and then he thought again. He says, Daniel, the Osage Indians are hostile in this area. It would be too dangerous to have an iron mine. So, left the iron ore deposit, and we started hunting on the Burbus River. Now my sons, Nathan and Daniel Morgan, were already on the Burbus hunting, and we came up upon them and rendezvoused with them. Then we decided we would go east, and as we went east on the Burbus, we found the hunting camp, the Indian hunting camp of Jimmy Rogers. He was an adopted Shawnee. In fact, Jimmy Rogers was one of the Shawnee that captured me in 1778. But don't worry, we became friends.
It was agreed that you and boys would continue hunting along the Burbus. You traveled up the Burbus and left at what is the present-day town of Union and proceeded north to the Missouri River.
Yes, we did. And as we went north, we went to the river crossing at the Missouri. Today, you would call it, Washington, Missouri. It was South Point of Washington, Missouri. It turned bitterly cold once we got there. Ice floes were upon the river. It was too many ice floes for us to make our way across the river in our dugout canoes.
The group decided to camp on the south side of the river and see what morning would bring. During the cold night, the river froze over completely.
Ah, yes. It was determined that we should take 2 long poles, and we should take those long poles, holding them down by our sides, and then when we go out on the ice, if the ice should break, the long poles would take our weight and distribute it so we wouldn't fall completely into the water. Nathan took the lead. Jonathan followed. Then came Derry, and then Daniel Morgan was in front of me. That little group made the opposite shore safely. However, when I was just a few feet from shore, I crashed through the ice and came up to my armpits in water. Icy water was stealing my body heat. Daniel Morgan rushed my aid, but I waved him off. If the ice could not hold me, it would not hold us both. Nathan didn't even look back. He raced to build a bonfire.
Our son, Daniel Morgan, shouted out words of encouragement to you, dear. Come on, Father, come on, come on, come on. Nathan has built a fire and we have warm blankets.
Yes, that encouragement and my 2 long poles, with that, I came up out of the ice, went up on top of the ice, and scrambled to shore.
They quickly stripped off your soaking wet clothes, wrapped you in warm blankets, and set you before that hot fire.
Yes, their quick actions saved my life. They warmed me up, and then they picked me up, and they carried me home, and we enjoyed happy Christmases ever since. Now, Rebecca, we have had many happy Christmases over the years, and I pray that this year that God would grant you the happiest Christmas of all.
And I pray the same for you, my good man.
And we pray the same for every one of you. Yes, you, that God will grant you the merriest Christmas this year. Merry Christmas.